Okay, sorry about my bad Hebrew. Mi she shomer et etzmo mi ka'am shon ar e nam shilatim elav. Okay, that means one who guards himself from anger. Those who hate him have no dominance over him, have no dominion over him, right? So we all know we're not supposed to get angry, but in Sefer Midah, Rabbi Nachman goes into the inconceivable benefits we get by not getting angry, right? If you try to get a kid to do something, you say like, can you clean your room? They say, I don't want to. You say, okay, I'll give you a chocolate bar if you clean your room. Then they have incentive. So, so the chapter on anger in here, he gives the most amazing incentives. So there's one incentive. No one will be able to dominate us if we control our anger, right? So inevitably in our life, if we're trying to love, if we're trying to work in the most serious way, etc., we're gonna get in situations where people are angry at us. And as the saying in Shalom Bayis means like peace in the home in the Jewish circles. So in all the Shalom Bayis classes, one of the catchphrases they say you can decide if you want to be right or if you want to be smart, right? So why do we get in fights with people? They say something and we say, no, you're wrong. They might be wrong. Usually they're wrong, especially if they're angry. Chances are they're wrong, right? But one of the most brilliant Jewish laws is we don't correct anyone unless they want to hear it, right? So think of like all the times you give people advice and correct them, and probably 90% of the time the people don't want to hear it, right? So they say you can only truly give advice to someone if they're really like your best friend. They really want it. There's the channels open. So one who guards himself from anger, those who hate him will have no dominion over him. So basically, the next time someone loses it on us, we have to keep this in mind and just think like, don't fight back, right? Don't worry about being right. Be happy to be wrong. Be happy. They call it in martial arts. They call it investing in loss. In Tai Chi martial arts. Tai Chi is like a higher sort of form of martial arts. Most of the martial arts, they try to hurt you. I will kill you. It's all about like being the top and avenging. And the Tai Chi was like a more mature development in a lot of places where, if someone tries to hurt you, okay, just, take a loss, block without punching, just try to diffuse the situation without anyone getting hurt. And the deep underside of this thing is, say someone dumps something on you. What led up to that is likely, it's the pimple on a lifetime of toxic stuff, and the pimple's bursting onto you, splattering onto you. Not to get so graphic, but it's their old stuff that's accumulated from a lifetime, right? So to think when they try to like dump their thing on you, to think that you're gonna correct them at that moment is like complete and utter fantasy, right? That's the last moment in the world that they're gonna hear anything. Just all this old stuff that's come up and they dump it on you, and just take it. There's no way in the world they're gonna hear you. Oh, listen, I think you're seeing it wrong at this time. Like just now afterwards when they dump it, and then and you don't fight back, and you don't say you were wrong. They just dump it, and you say, thank you very much, thank you for your opinion. Try to not be cynical, which at that time is extremely difficult. And just take it. Inevitably, if they're like a human being, they're going to come back later on and say, listen, sorry, things got a little out of hand. And at that time, they call that a teachable moment, right? And when you work with kids, at that time is the teachable moment. Like, oh yeah, listen, But again, the holistic there's the meridian charts from Asian medicine. The holistic roots of what causes someone to get angry in the moment. There's a lifetime, and in Kabbalah and other systems, we could say lifetimes of things leading up to the moment when they dump the thing on us, right? So we might get in our heads, oh, I'm going to show them who's boss. I'm going to show them who's right. The worst time in history, right? Now, given you're going to have a relationship with this person over the rest of your life, okay, there'll be times. This is not the time. That's why during the anger, just, take it with a smile. Walk away in a nice kind of way. Say, let's talk later. No fighting. No more fighting. All these videos I'm talking to myself, obviously. It's not like I'm perfected all these brilliant teachings. So they have a lifetime of things building up that leads them to pop that pimple of anger and spritz their toxins at us, and we can say, oh, how could you get this toxic stuff on me? Metaphorically, how could you get your toxic stuff on me? Why are you gonna dump your thing? They know deep down it's wrong. They know deep down they shouldn't get angry. It's not. Everyone knows. One time I was at my friend's house and he was having a horrible fight with his wife. I was trying to talk to him. He's like, listen, dude, I know I shouldn't get angry at my wife. Like, you don't have to tell me. It's very funny. So now for us to be a support to that person in like draining the swamp that builds up to their toxic discharge, that's called working in medicine. That's called teaching meditation. That's called being Jewish, being holy, whatever. Like there's limitless ways we can help someone to drain the underpinnings of stress that causes their anger. Fun ways, brilliant ways, savvy ways, hiking, running, biking, meditation, fasting, comedy, whatever. But we have to, from now on, we're going to be smart. We're not going to worry about being right. We're going to be smart. We're going to take a beating when it's time to take a beating. And there's a lot of us, I'm like the primary one here. There's a lot of us that when we take a beating and we don't respond, there's a little like kind of cynic in us that, jabs at the person. Okay, that makes it harder for them. We just have to like be really sincere, take the beating in a sincere way, and realize that, most likely we were the straw that broke the camel's back, right? It's not like we 100% made that person angry. Okay, we were a part to it, but there's a whole thing leading up to it. And they say that the Mashiach, the Savior, the Messiah, the Savior of the world is going to come without a single bullet being fired. That's what Breslov says. So that's the metaphor. Like when things get rough, we don't have to win. You just chill out, get embarrassed. In Breslov, there's a beautiful thing. Rabbi Nachman says the heart, the left side of the heart has like toxic kind of blood in it, and the toxic blood is related to your deeper toxic emotions. They say when you get embarrassed, what happens? Your face goes red. And he says what's happening is that toxic blood is like getting released and evaporated and kind of coming out. I'm sure I'm describing it a little bit off. There's a book called Anatomy of the Soul where they go into all the body stuff about Breslov. It's a nice book. Rav Tzvi Aryeh Rosenfeld, basically like the Breslov Rebbe in America in the last generation, he was so great. He was so great. If you guys only knew, we should all connect to all his students now. It's a wonderful thing. Yeah. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna take a beating. Or we can take a beating and then later on help the person. Why are they discharging in us? It's like subconsciously they want us to heal them or something, even if it just looks completely nasty, and then later on over the course of a lifetime we can help them drain out the toxic source of all that anger voluntarily at the right time, at the right place, and then it all, it's a plot of like every teen movie, the bully, like the cheesy teen movies, the bully makes friends with the kid who's bullying him, and that guy teaches the younger guy, teaches him how not to be a bully. It's good. It's basically the right gig. Okay, be in touch. Bye.